Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Fong. This is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer of the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you have paid for my additional service to get some more feedback on all of the Speak Clearly lessons. Also, you can post your TOEFL speaking practice tests here, both your independent and your integrated practice tests. So it looks like today you're working on some pronunciation. And when you're doing these lessons, tell me specifically when you write the message in the Voxy Pop, tell me what lesson it is. I think this is probably lesson 7, right? Now what I want to do is, my purpose here is to help reduce your accent. And as I see problems, I will be giving you some comments and some suggestions and helping correct your pronunciation. And remember that this is a battle. This is a long, drawn-out battle. These problems are not easily solved. However, you and I will be working together for a few months. So remember that the race here is not to the fastest, but to the person who sticks with it. So if you practice on a regular basis, you will make improvements with your pronunciation. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to what you said, and as we go, I will stop the video to make comments from time to time.
But, bold, cut, cold, suck, soak, nut, note, gut, goat, luck, load.
Okay, that you're doing pretty good so far. Now with the one word is loathe. So this is an interdental consonant. Don't forget, loathe. So the tongue needs to be between the teeth when you produce that sound.
Ball, bowl, on, that, don't, can, cone.
Okay, pretty good so far. I think you understand the difference here.
Form, tan, honest, father, blow, blonde, glowed, glow, bump, camp, no, flow, mobile, mapping, biography, biology, bond, bond. However, the U.S. Army
Okay, I'm going to give you some comments on these sentence readings now.
continually invaded the territory, creating problems within the known zone of the native economy.
Okay, let's take a look at that.
Indeed, is a no.
I think the word here would be native. Native economy.
As forms of dance play an important role within a culture.
The word important, important.
And reveal a wide range of information about the characteristics of a culture.
So the stress is characteristics of a culture.
Sitting Bull and Seoul realized they could not defeat the army alone, and they must fight on their own land.
Okay, be careful here. They must fight. So I'm getting a little bit of, sometimes at the final consonant at the end of the word, you're not always clearly pronouncing that sound. So be very careful. Make sure you're pronouncing those final consonant sounds.
Ice speeds up the repair process and should be applied for 10 to 30 minutes on and off for not longer than 72 hours.
Okay, not bad. Now this is called blending. We'll work on this at some point, but I want to talk about it a little bit now. The word speeds up. Whenever you have a verb and you have a particle right after it, you want to blend those two words together. So I would say ice speeds up the repair process and should be applied for 10 to 30 minutes on and off for not longer than 72 hours.
It is important to
again, important, important.
out that the feedbacks.
I would say to point out that, You're having some problems with that sound there. Let's listen to it
10
again.
to 30 minutes on and off for not longer than 72 hours. It is important to point out that although feedback has a direct effect on development at this stage, again in helping the child to acquire the words, to express increasingly subtle differences in referent.
Okay, now what I would recommend here is, in terms of your pronunciation, you're struggling a little bit. Now remember that you're just starting to do these exercises with me, and in the beginning, your mouth will find it a little bit difficult to produce these new sounds. Why? Because these sounds are different from your own language. And by the way, if you could let me know next time what is your first language, I'm interested in understanding that, because that helps me understand the kinds of problems that you might be having. For example, if your first language is Thai or maybe Vietnamese, you will have trouble producing the final consonant sounds and words, because in those languages they don't do that. Now, if you speak Chinese, you might forget to pronounce the final grammatical endings on words like EDs and S's. So next time, let me know what your first language is, and then I can even help you better by having that kind of knowledge. Now, what you're doing here is you're pausing a little bit too much after each word. And that's not what we do in English. We have what's called sentence rhythm, and you want to be able to read this information a little bit faster than what you're doing.
Young children
Okay, let me give you some feedback on what you just did now. I want you to read with me now, and you may want to listen to me first, and here's your homework. As you listen to me, I want you to put a line after where I'm pausing. All right? See if you can understand my pausing first, and then when you're reading with me, when you replay the video, I want you to read with me at the same pace, with the same pausing, with the same tone. Okay, so remember, first, just listen to me and mark where I'm pausing. Number one, however, the U.S. Army continually invaded this territory, creating problems within the known zones of the native economy. Number two, indeed, it is known that forms of dance play an important role within a culture and reveal a wide range of information about the characteristics of a culture. 3. Sitting Bull and the Sioux realized they could not defeat the army alone, and they must fight on their own land. Number 4. Ice speeds up the repair process and should be applied for 10 to 30 minutes on and off for not longer than 72 hours. Number 5. It is important to point out that adult feedback has a direct effect on development at this stage, again in helping the child to acquire the words to express increasingly subtle differences in reference. Did you get that? So I'm not pausing after every word, but I'm grouping certain groups of words together. This is important for your TOEFL speaking, because pausing and your tone is part of your what's called your delivery score. You'll be scored according to your delivery, your grammar and your language use, and also your topic development. Now, something else that you might want to do, which is a pretty good idea, is you don't have to do this for me, but if you want to do this on your own, it would be great integrated speaking practice, is the reading passage that you're just about to read. You can read it, take down some notes, and then using your notes, practice orally summarizing the information. This is very good integrated speaking practice. All right, let's go ahead and listen to your paragraph.
at this stage, again in helping the child to acquire the words, to express increasingly subtle differences in referent.
And that last word there should be reference. Reference.
Young children difficultly overgeneralize their early words for halal phrases in
That would be hala phrases. Ha, ah, ah. holophrases.
The act of deciphering and semantics of the language. Thus, cat may be applied to anything with four legs. Daddy is anything adult male. As the child experiment with increasingly sophisticated hypotheses.
There will be hypotheses. So hypothesis is singular. Hypotheses is actually plural.
The meaning of words. Previous acquired item may draft out of the vocabulary.
So I'm starting to get some of your problems with your pronunciation. Words that have S in it, like previous, previously acquired items. So be careful about words that have S endings, especially near the end of the word.
An example is the 16-month-old who went through a period of calling his mother Lady Daddy.
That would be lady, a lady daddy. Okay, so let's go over it together. Now again, I want you to listen to me read it one time for pausing first. And again, you want to pay attention to when I pause. And then the next time I want you to read it with me together. Okay. Young children typically overgeneralize their early words or holophrases in the act of deciphering the semantics of their language. Thus, cat may be applied to anything with four legs. Daddy is any adult male. As the child experiments with increasingly sophisticated hypotheses about the meanings of words, previously acquired items may drop out of the vocabulary. An example is a 16-month-old who went through a period of calling his mother Lady Daddy. Again, Lady Daddy.
Start your responses here from now on, Fong.
Okay, so I think we're good. So we're done with this particular lesson. So I think it's ready for you to move on to the next lesson. So in terms of the ah and the o, I think you definitely understand. You're not having any major problems with distinguishing those two sounds. So that's good. All right, so good luck to you. Thank you for doing the exercise. And don't forget that it might not be a bad idea as you do these pronunciation exercises. Now, I know that your schedule is busy or whatever, but each day it might be good also to do at least one speaking practice test on that day. And then I will help you with that a little bit too. So your main goal is to try to get up to around 26 points out of 30. That's what I want to try to help you do, right? Okay, anyway, thank you, and I appreciate you becoming one of my students and taking advantage of my additional service at any time. If you ever have questions, maybe at the beginning of any of our speaking or pronunciation exercises, you can ask me those questions. And remember that I'm actually doing a video, and I will answer those questions as you ask them. All right? Good luck to you. Keep up the good work.